political science at Pearson National University. Joins us from there now via Skype. Very good to have you with us. Why the need for this missile defense system?
Sure. Well, the North Koreans have been building nuclear weapons and missiles now for a good 15 or 20 years, and the technology has come a pretty long way. They just did another nuclear test in January, which got a lot of global publicity, and have been testing missiles pretty relentlessly this year, right? So once you put the nuclear weapon on top of the missile, and they've got a pretty serious missile force. And so the South Koreans, to be fair to the South Koreans, they've actually, held off on this decision for a while, but it's gotten to the point right now where North Korea is so threatening that they really do need this roof, if you will.
And the U.S. stance and the U.S. role in all of this, it's seen by obviously as being by many as being provocative.
Yeah, that's right. Well, the North Koreans see it that way, and the Chinese do. I think that's somewhat predictable, right? I would actually argue that the Americans have sort of not really played such a big role in this. The South Korean public has been going back and forth on whether or not THAAD, that's what the system is called, should be deployed or not. I mean, for 10 years, the Americans have been waiting for the South Koreans to make the decision. We didn't really push them into this. I think the real issue is, China's response, right? And why do the Chinese not want it here and stuff like that? Because it's not actually intended to block Chinese missiles. It's really intended to block the North Korean missiles. So it's not really clear to me why the Chinese are so upset with the United States or South Korea.
What do you think the next step is going to be? How's this going to end?
Well, unless the Chinese can get the North Koreans to denuclearize and demissilize, which I think is highly unlikely, I think the South Koreans will have no choice but to continue to install missile defense. I mean, the reason why this is happening is because the North Koreans have these things and people don't really trust North Korea with nuclear weapons. We've hoped for the last 5 or 6 years that China would find a way to get North Korea to pull over, to stop building, stop deploying these things. Right? If the North Koreans were to put them away, to take them off the field, then we wouldn't need missile defense. But I just don't see that. So I do see something of an arms race between the South Koreans building missile shield and North Koreans building missile.
Obviously, I worry that. Robert Kelly, thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.